Yo, what's up, Titan Nation? Good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing? Welcome to a mock draft edition of Titans in Truth. I'm your host, Chris, aka BluEnforcer, and it's NFL Draft Eve. So we are getting ready for the 2018 NFL Draft from Dallas, Texas. So I'm not at the draft this time, but I'm actually going to be at the draft party down at Nissan Stadium. So if you're in the Nashville area, definitely head down to the stadium for the big party. Starts at 6:30, and they're going to have some definite things to do as far as tours of the locker room. Mike Keith and Frank Wycheck, I think, are going to be broadcasting from there. You'll have the draft on both of the Jumbotrons, so you'll be able to see all the picks in the draft as they come out, especially when the Titans pick at 25. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. But let's go ahead and get into some things. We're going to talk a few other things, some other headlines that came out. First, I did get a chance to talk about the schedule last week since it was revealed after the show. But I definitely like how the schedule plays out for us. We open up against the Miami Dolphins week 1 in Miami. So we go to sunny Miami. We go to Florida twice in the first 3 weeks. So I like how we get to do that and enjoy some of the sun and not some of this crazy weather that we got going on here. But I definitely like how the first 6 weeks of the year kind of pan out. You got at Miami, you have at Houston, you got home against Houston. That'll be the home opener. We go to Jacksonville. We got games against the Eagles. You got games against the Ravens. Also the Bills coming up in those first 6 weeks. And also, I like how December is looking with the Jets, the Giants, Redskins, Colts, and home against the Jaguars on Thursday night. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. We got 3 primetime games, which is a little bit more than what I was expecting. We don't have any Sunday night games yet, but I could see where a couple of games get flexed into Sunday night. But I will say that the part of the schedule I think that will be the toughest part of the schedule is going to be definitely weeks 9 through 12. That is after the bye week, after our game in London, and we are going into games against Dallas. We got at Dallas versus New England at home, at Indy, at Houston. That's going to be a very telling stretch of games, and those are going to be games that is going to tell us what type of year we're really going to have. That stretch is going to be extremely difficult, but I think it's one that we could pull through anyway on that. And as far as predictions go on how I think the schedule is going to play out, of course I'll have a prediction show coming up later this year before the season starts. I usually go through game by game and what I think will happen, what the score will be, and what the overall record is going to end up being. So that's definitely going to be coming. I have a few favorite games that I really like that I'm looking forward to seeing. Week 4 against the Super Bowl champion Eagles at home. I could see if we're starting off 3-1 going into that game against Philly, I could see that one flexed into Sunday night because you can see the new uniforms with us going up against the Super Bowl champions. I definitely think that would be a very nice game to get flexed, but I think that would be a great test to see where we are as a team coming off of the playoff season that we had. Also, week 10 against the New England Patriots. That's going to be a very tough game, but I think a lot of storylines going into that game because you got Mike Vrabel facing the team that drafted him, the team that he was on. You got Deion Lewis and Malcolm Butler, Logan Ryan going up against their former team, things like that. So I think that's a lot of story that coming out. John Robinson was a longtime executive there, so that is a lot of storylines that could go into that. I doubt that gets flexed to the Sunday, but that's definitely possible. And then last but not least, week 14 against the Jacksonville Jaguars. And the reason why I picked that game, because A, it's on a Thursday night, so it'll be national TV. B, this game could very well be for the division title. This could be the division title game. Even though we have the Colts at the end of the year, this game is probably more important and could decide the division straight up. So I think that is something that I'm definitely looking forward to on that. So I think there's going to be an awesome game to look forward to on that. And I am very, very hype about this game. And I think, you know, with it being a division, and it's a team that I kind of despise right now, you know, kind of sick of the Jaguars. They've been talking trash and things like that. So we got to stick it to them. And I look forward to that. Next up, we had a pre-draft press conference on Monday, and John Robinson and Coach Vrabel basically talked a few things about what they think will be happening with the upcoming draft, what they're looking, what they're trying to do. And I just got a few quick highlights from that. I didn't really go through the whole thing, but just some things that I kind of pointed out to me. Of course, J-Rob came in saying on focusing on finding value in all areas. So he's looking for value in every position that he's looking at drafting. And, you know, recently, within the last few weeks, they've been looking at the later rounds, looking at players that maybe in the 4th, 5th, or 6th rounds who could be productive Titans in the future. So I find that very intriguing. I find that important because some of those late round players could be guys that are beneficial later. You know, for example, like Avery Williamson, even though he left the free agency, was a 5th round draft pick, ended up being a starter for 4 years. You know, another player, Jayon Brown, he could be starting this year, definitely. So we have a few late round picks that have actually been key contributors. Quinn Spain, you know, was a restricted free agent. You know, he was undrafted, ended up being a starter. So those are definitely some things that they definitely look forward to. J-Rob and Coach Vrabel, they watch film together. They watch, you know, film as far as players that they're looking at, prospects that they're looking at, and they even watch film together of Titan practices from last year, getting a scope on the players that are already on the team. And so that's something that's very important. And they were talking about from visits what, you know, from the visits that they have. You know, they may be bringing in guys that they may like who could end up turning them off, or there may be guys that they didn't like at first that maybe they end up liking, something like that. So, you know, it could be also visits to check medicals, maybe get some insight on what they're thinking, maybe answer some of the questions that they may have not been able to answer at the combine or at the pro day. So I think that's something good. Coach Vrabel basically said he wants to have a clean operation. Basically what OTAs and practices are going to be like, how players are going to be developed, how they're going to be coached, not only by him, but by the coordinators, by the position coaches. So he's basically laying out the foundation of how this program is going to be going forward. And J-Rob basically said he loves his draft picks. Now, there is, you know, he did talk about possibly being Trader John, as we know that he can be. You know, if he sees a good deal, maybe he sees a possibility of getting out of 25, you know, he may do that. I think trading up, I don't think it's going to really happen with J-Rob, but I do think trading back could definitely be a possibility to acquire more picks. That could definitely be a possibility, and that's just some things that I saw. Also, voluntary minicamp started yesterday. And they had a minicamp press conference with Coach Vrabel talking. Some of the players spoke for just a bit. I'm going to give a few excerpts from that as well. First off, Coach Vrabel, you know, he seemed very excited. He said the players seem to know what to do. You know, he basically said, you know, that this is not a perfect game. You know, games are played by grown men, and it won't look like how it's supposed to be in the pictures. So that was very telling that, hey, it's not a perfect game, but you got to do your best to, you know, play as perfect as you can in an imperfect system. He also said that, you know, he watched practices from last year, from what, you know, Mike Mularkey, former coach, was doing, and maybe seeing, you know, how to interact with the players and things going forward. Also feels, and he mentioned this a lot, and I think a lot of the players played off of this too, getting better every day, getting better, developing, you know, being coached, and things like that. That is something that is very, very important to him, and that is just getting better. He wants to develop players into better players, and that is something that is critical for this team going forward. And so, and now, of course, some of the other players chimed in as well. Here are some excerpts from Wesley Woodyard. He basically was excited to be back. He felt it's always great to learn something new. He said he loves the new uniforms, feels like the helmet is the dopest part of the uniform. You know, Ben Jones basically said, great to be back with my brothers. It's getting closer to football season. He was asked about something with dealing with a coyote that him and Ryan Suckup did during the offseason. He basically said, you know, it was something fun to do, you know, while everybody was at the combine. He said something fun, but his mom was not happy about what, you know, she was hearing, and some other people, you know, thought he was actually dealing with a real coyote. But he said he wouldn't do it with a real coyote because of, you know, dealing with some of the things that coyotes are dealing with. So definitely thought that was kind of funny there. Also, you know, Logan Ryan basically said that the defense, that there is some familiarities with the defense, but Dean Pease is a highly respected coordinator, and he's going to definitely try to put players in position to make plays. Coach Coombs, energetic, loud, basically. So he wants us, you know, wants us to be better as a secondary, and, you know, almost, you know, he said he was loud, almost lost his voice in one of the training sessions as well. So, you know, definitely with that. Marcus, you know, I'm sorry, one other thing that Logan Ryan mentioned, he felt like it was a fresh start for him and Malcolm Butler to be together. Glad to be working back together again, and that could be something that definitely makes the secondary better. And then, of course, you have Marcus Mariota. Marcus basically coming in saying it's huge, awesome to be back playing football. You know, it's great to be back playing football, and you know, it's nice to have an off season where he is focusing on football, not on rehab. I thought that was a very, very telling part, because it is good that he's able to connect with his receivers. He's able to work out with his receivers like he did during the offseason out in California, and not have to worry about rehabbing a leg. Instead, learning the playbook, you know, getting in tune with Derrick Henry, getting in tune with Dion Lewis, getting in tune with the offensive line, things like that. And basically he was saying, as far as, you know, this is a new coach, he said it's a process. You know, it takes time to learn a playbook. It takes time to learn each other, and, you know, that's something that hopefully they'll be gelling as the year goes on. But that was just some of the excerpts that I had as far as from the press conference and everything that is going on. But I like where this team is headed. They definitely have a good foundation from the culture that they had before with former Coach Mularkey. I think that Coach Vrabel is going to enhance that culture, and he mentioned a lot about developing players. He wants to develop players. He wants to make good players great players. He wants to make not so good players good players, and that is something I think I think they have a shared vision, and I think everybody is on the same page when it comes to that, as far as development, as far as being better, and as far as growing, and that's something that is going to be very important and very beneficial. So I definitely like that, and that's something that I think that all the other players echoed, was getting better every day. You know, learning something new, taking what you learned before and mastering that and getting even better the next day. And so I definitely like where this team is going in that regard. But before we go any further to the big part of this show, I want to give thanks to sponsors of Titans in Truth. First off, Rose Jewels Boutique and Miss Allison Conley. You know, I got a chance to talk with her this past weekend, and definitely likes the fact that I am, you know, that she's sponsoring this show. Again, you can definitely check her out. Get in contact with her on Facebook, Allison Conley. You can look her up, Rose Jewels Boutique. You can look her up on Facebook or at Rose Jewels Boutique on Instagram. Definitely look her up if you're looking for some new jewelry. She got pictures of jewelry that she's made. Ladies, she's got something special for you. Fellas, she can make some stuff for you as well. So don't think that she's only about the ladies. No, guys, she can make stuff for you too. So definitely take a look at that. I like her jewelry. Like I said, I bought my wife. I got my wife a bracelet that has some charms that represent her. She also got a bracelet. I believe it's kind of gray, but it is basically representing lung cancer because, of course, my mother-in-law dealt with and beat lung cancer, and so we do that to honor her as far as, you know, her defeating that disease and that long journey that she was successful at beating. And you know, we're going to be walking in the Lung Force Cancer Walk in May here in Nashville, and that's something that's very near and dear to our hearts. Also, Craft Gasmic Creations, another presenting sponsor from my cousin LaCrystal Cleveland, who has made some of the shirts. Y'all have seen them. The t-shirt that I have, the sweatshirt that I have, the hoodie that I have from Craft Gasmic Creations. Has Titans in Truth on the front, has my information on the back. If y'all want to get down, y'all want shirts like that, hit her up. I will be wearing one of my Titans in Truth shirts tomorrow for the draft party. So if you're at the draft party, you see me in a Titans in Truth shirt, holler at me, step up to me. If you see where it says Titans in Truth on the front or it has information on the back saying Titans in Truth, come talk to me. You know, I'm not hard to approach. Y'all come talk to me anytime. I'm ready to talk Titan ball anytime, anywhere. So definitely check out Craft Gasmic Creations. You can check her out on her Facebook page, Craft Gasmic Creations, or her personal page, LaCrystal Cleveland. Also at Craft Gasmic Creations on Instagram as well. She might hook you up with a discount. Can't promise that, but maybe she'll look at that for you if you say that you mentioned Chris of Titans in Truth. So definitely look at that. Also, if you're looking to have your business talked about, if you want to become a sponsor of Titans in Truth, you know, get with me. You know, you can talk to me. You can you know, hit my instant messenger here on Facebook at you know, under my name, Chris A. Newell, or under the Titans in Truth fan page. You can definitely hit me up on the page there, and you can also leave a comment on the website, www.titansintruth.wixsite.com / Titans in Truth. You can leave a comment there as well. So if you're looking to want to become a sponsor, where I talk about your business and things like that, and get people to support your business, I'll be definitely glad to do that for you. So that's basically you know, my sponsors for the show. I love my sponsors. I appreciate them supporting me. I appreciate them having my back, and we're gonna have a lot of big things coming up after this draft. So I'm looking forward to some big things that are gonna be coming down the turnpike. I'm looking forward to that, and I hope y'all are looking forward to it as well. Okay, and so with that being done, now let's get to the big part of the show, why all of you are going to be watching here. And make sure you share this show out, put it out on Facebook. If you get a little bit of it, put it on Instagram, on Twitter. Hit me up, you know, follow me on that, and you know, spread the word to everybody. We try to make this the biggest thing ever here at Titans in Truth, and we're gonna have a whole lot of fun coming up very, very soon. And speaking of some fun things coming up, tomorrow's a very big day. It's the 2018 NFL Draft. The first round kicks off tomorrow night, and it is going to be huge. And again, y'all, if you're in the Middle Tennessee area, go down to Nissan Stadium. There's going to be a big draft party. It's open to the public, open to everybody. Free parking in lots A through D. You'll be able to get tours of the locker room. They'll probably have some games. You know, people talking about season tickets. You're also going to have maybe some of the players are going to be there. Maybe signing autographs. Mike Keith, Dave McGinnis are going to be broadcasting from the stadium as they talk about the draft coming up and where you think the Titans, what they might do at the 25th pick. Now, of course, unlike drafts in the past, this time we gotta wait a while. We're gonna be picking 25th in the draft, so we got a while before we're up, unless some action happens where we trade up or trade back. So I'm really looking forward to that. Again, I'm gonna be there for a while, so if you see me, come holler at me, come talk to me. You can come take a picture with me. I am gonna go live once I'm there, whether the draft has started or not. Maybe with the first few picks, talking a little bit about what I think the Titans are gonna do. And then also I'm gonna go live, try to go live wherever I am when the Titans pick, and then also give an immediate reaction of what I think of the pick. And then we'll be going over some stuff after day one, after that's over, and also we'll talk about some of the other things that happen in the draft as well. So don't be afraid to approach me. I'm not a hard guy to find. I'm very easy to find. Like I said, I'm gonna be in my Titans and Truth gear. It's either gonna be a light blue, a baby blue sweatshirt, or it's going to be a gray hoodie. It's going to be one of those two that you'll see me in. And you're probably going to see me maybe with a hat on as well. So if you see me, approach me. Don't be afraid to talk to me. I'm always ready to meet some new fans and gain some new followers and things like that. I love meeting people. I love talking to people, especially about Titan football. So I am definitely down for that. But here we go. I'm about to unveil to you my one and only mock draft for the entire first round of this draft. I can guarantee you it is not going to go down this way. This is what I think these teams are going to do based on team needs that I saw on NFL.com, and also the big draft board from Bleacher Report. So that was basically where I got my thoughts from as far as how I went with this draft. And I'm going to post this mock draft on my page and on the Titans and Truth fan page. So it's going to be on there. And once I post it on there, I'll give some thoughts on what I think of these picks. So I'm going to try to go through it because I don't want to talk your head off all night. And I may give a little bit of a thought, but I may not give too much on that. But we're going to go ahead and go right into it right now. So here we are. The BluEnforcer 2018 one and only first round NFL mock draft. We're going to start with the Cleveland Browns at number 1. And they're going to take a quarterback. I am picking Sam Darnold out of USC as the quarterback for the Cleveland Browns at number 1. He's going to be the guy taking over for Tyrod Taylor, and he's going to have some nice weapons to throw to with Jarvis Landry, David Njoku out there. And then, of course, you got Carlos Hyde at running back and a pretty nice offensive line. So I definitely like that with the first pick. And Cleveland's going to control this draft for quite some time in the next 24 hours. So it's going to be very interesting. At number 2, the New York Football Giants. I got them going running back. Saquon Barkley. He was a guy out of Penn State I thought could probably go #1. I think he's overall the best player in this draft. I like some of his movement. He's fluid. He could do some of everything. And the Giants are going to get a real find. And Eli Manning, Odell Beckham Jr., they are going to be extremely happy with this character. And now #3 with the Jets. Of course, they traded up from 6 to 3 with Indy, and this is going to be an interesting pick here. I do again have the second quarterback coming off. It ain't going to be who you think. Josh Rosen from UCLA going #3 to the New York Jets, and this is why I picked him. He kind of has this rock star mentality. I think he comes in, he thinks he's a superstar. You know, he's lived that LA life. He deserves to be in a big market. That's why I have him going to the Jets at 3. He does have a good arm. He has adapted to some different coaches. I think he's a pretty good quarterback, but I kind of worry that he may have that rock star mentality, thinking he's entitled. I don't know about that. I, again, could be wrong. But we're going to see what happens there. But I have him going to the Jets at 3. The Browns up again at #4. This is the pick they got from Houston when Houston traded for Deshaun Watson. Now, the Browns could trade down here, but I don't have any trades on this draft. I am going with Bradley Chubb, edge rusher out of NC State. He could be very good to pair with. He could be very good to pair with Myles Garrett. That defense is getting better, and that defense is going to be pretty good. They finished top 10 defensively last year, despite being 0-16. So this defense just got a lot better, and Myles Garrett probably very happy with this pick. So now at #5, we head out to the Mile High City of Denver. John Elway over that team, and I think he picks a quarterback. Josh Allen from Wyoming. I think Josh Allen won't have to leave far from home. He'll head out to Denver, and I know they got Case Keenum on a deal. But do you really think Case Keenum is gonna be the answer at quarterback? I don't know. But I think Josh Allen could bring in some competition. Josh Allen could be Case Keenum out week 1. But I think Case Keenum starts. But I think Josh Allen starts next year. John Elway gets that quarterback that he wants for the future. I think at #5. At 6, with the Indianapolis Colts, our division rival. I'm so happy that Barkley and Chubb are off the board. I didn't want neither one of those guys going to Indy. I'm going to be a little selfish on that. I'm not even going to front. I'm being selfish on that one. I ain't want neither one going to the Indianapolis Colts. But I do think they could use help on the offensive line. If Andrew Luck comes back, he doesn't need to be running for his life again, if he comes back at all. So I have them going Quinn Nelson from Notre Dame, the top offensive lineman in this draft. And I, saw that he was up high on some boards as far as being one of the top players in this draft. And the Colts get a very good find. They could build this offensive line with him and also Kelly at center. So, a nice guard-center combination right there at 6. At #7, I go with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Austin Stanley, if you watch this is a shout out to your boy Zach Bingham. We're going to go with Denzel Ward, cornerback out of Ohio State. That secondary in Tampa Bay, very thin. I could have went safety here, but I thought cornerback was the bigger need. So Denzel Ward off the board at #7. #8, I got the Chicago Bears, and they definitely need help on the defensive side of the ball and linebacker. Let's give him Tremaine Edmonds, the young stud from Virginia Tech, only 19 years old. He is young. He is athletic. He can play inside or outside. He is going to definitely be a tremendous player for the Chicago Bears at 8. And then we come to number 9, the San Francisco 49ers. You know, they got Jimmy Garoppolo. They signed him to that huge contract. You know, they look like they have a future out there, and they could definitely be for real coming out of the NFC West. And so I decided to add to the defense a little bit more. You got Solomon Thomas out there along with Buckner, and I decided to give him an edge rusher, and I give him Marcus Davenport from Texas San Antonio, a raw edge rusher, a good motor, can definitely get up the field fast, get after the quarterback. He likes sacking the quarterback very much, and is very quick at finding the football even on run plays. So he's definitely very quick, and so I like that pick for San Francisco at 9. Rounding out the top 10, Minkah Fitzpatrick, the safety out of Alabama, goes to the Raiders. They need help at safety. Reggie Nelson was not very good. Sean Smith, not very good. They need help in the secondary. Minkah Fitzpatrick, the best player on the board. I get him at 10. Now, this is where the draft got a little bit difficult for me. I got the Dolphins at 11. Now, I know they might need a quarterback. Right now, Ryan Tannehill, I think, is their quarterback right now. They may go that way. They may go with Baker Mayfield. They may go with Lamar Jackson. But I'm going to go a little bit off the scope and go linebacker. Roquan Smith heads down to South Beach at 11. I know a lot of people are probably not going to like this pick from me, but I'm just looking at the needs. They need help at linebacker. He's a guy that can bring some pressure. He can help solidify the middle of the defense. I wasn't sure if a defensive lineman should go as high. Maybe I thought about Vita Vea there, but I just think Roquan Smith is too good to pass up. At number 12, at the Buffalo Bills, they're going quarterback. They got 2 picks. They may trade up, but I think they go with, if they stay right there, Baker Mayfield from Oklahoma goes 12 to the Buffalo Bills. But I think Sean McDermott is the right coach for him too. No nonsense. He ain't gonna take the crap that he was doing at Oklahoma. He's gonna come, he's gonna play, and he better not come with no shenanigans either. So he better just buckle up and play, and not turn into another Johnny Manziel. He could become a good quarterback. So I like that at 12. At 13, the Washington Redskins. Shout out to my girl, my homie, Crystal Hayward, for your team, for your Redskins. I give them Vita Vea, defensive tackle from Washington. I like this guy coming out in the beginning. A good run stuffer. He's going to block up a line, and he's going to get double, maybe even triple teamed, and that's going to open up a lot of things for guys like Kerrigan. And some of the guys, Zach Brown on that defense, to get some pressure. Jonathan Allen benefits from this. So I definitely like that pick at 13. At 14 for the Green Bay Packers, they need help at secondary. I thought about safety, maybe with Derwin James, but they could use some help at corner as well. They lost Demarius Randall to the Cleveland Browns in the trade that got him Deshaun Kaiser. I'm going Josh Jackson, cornerback from Iowa. Even though he had a really, really bad combine, you know, his stats jump off the wall. He is a very good player. He is over 6 foot tall, can cover anybody, and has a knack for finding the football. So sometimes, yeah, you might have a bad combine, but you may end up being better than what the combine shows. And he helps that secondary with Clinton Dix, and definitely could make things easier on those guys up front, and maybe help Aaron Rodgers a little bit, as far as Aaron Rodgers not having to throw for 400 yards every game. And so now we come to 15 with the Arizona Cardinals. This one was an easy pick for me. I could have went secondary. I know Tyrann Mathieu is gone. You need somebody over by Patrick Peterson. But if Sam Bradford gets hurt, Lamar Jackson, quarterback. He could definitely replace Sam Bradford. You know, they signed him on a one-year deal, and Lamar Jackson could definitely be the future for new coach Steve Wilks. They're definitely going to be needing help at that position. That's why I got quarterback. If Sam Bradford doesn't pan out, Lamar Jackson comes in. At number 16, I have the Baltimore Ravens. Even though they have missed on this position a lot in the first round, I think they may hit it here with Calvin Ridley at wide receiver from Alabama. A very, very talented receiver, complete player. I liked him when him and Amari Cooper were together. Definitely. So, I mean, he is about the same as Amari Cooper. Good route runner, very good speed, has good hands, will be a very good receiver. Way better than Brashard Perryman or what Jeremy Maclin was bringing. I think a way better player. That'll make Joe Flacco very happy indeed in Baltimore. At number 17, we have the LA Chargers. You know, they have Bosa. They got Ingram. They got Corey Lidju. I hope I said his name right. Casey Hayward out there. I think they go safety. I think he goes cross country from the sunshine state of Florida out to the land of the stars, Tinseltown. Derwin James, safety out of Florida State, goes out there at number 17 and helps solidify that secondary out there with I forget some of the players that are out there. I know there's Verrett, I believe, the cornerback from TCU, excuse me. Also Casey Hayward on the other side. He helps that backfield out tremendously because they were, you know, missing Trey Boston and things like that. At 19, I have the Seattle Seahawks. This one was an easy pick for me. You gotta protect Russell Wilson. And why not get one of the best linemen left on the market? Mike McGlinchey, offensive tackle from Notre Dame, can slide in, play left tackle, protect the blind side for Russell Wilson, and just helps that offensive line because that has been a major problem for the Seattle Seahawks. At 19, I was going to go in a different direction with Dallas here, but they're going to go with a hometown kid. They just cut Dez Bryant. Why bring in a more talented receiver? Cortland Sutton from SMU at 19. A speedster, a very good wide receiver out there. Can stay at home in Dallas. He'd be the hometown kid, and you know, definitely could make Jerry Jones very happy. Build around Dak Prescott. You got a good offensive line. Takes the pressure off Ezekiel Elliott. I like that pick there with Allen Hurns out there too. At number 20 is the Detroit Lions. And let me tell y'all right now, as a Titans fan, I absolutely hated this pick that I made. But it fits their best need. Harold Landry, outside linebacker, defensive end, edge rusher from Boston College. He could be helping Ziggy Ansah on the other side. I think he might be better with his hand in the dirt than standing up, although he has some very good moves as a pass rusher, can dip very well and get under a offensive tackle and get to the quarterback. I'm hoping that for real he's there at 25 for us to pick, but I can see the Detroit Lions taking him. At number 21, the Cincinnati Bengals. Of course, they did get Cordy Glenn in the trade, which is why they traded back from 12 to 21, excuse me, with the Buffalo Bills. And I think they're going to go offensive linemen. Excuse me, you got Cordy Glenn that can play on the left side. Why don't you go ahead and put a guy like Connor Williams, offensive tackle from Texas, on the right side of your offensive line? And if you're already set at right tackle, you can plug him in at guard, put him inside. You don't have Zyder there because he went to Cleveland, and so you need some help at guard too. Connor Williams could slide inside and play guard if you don't put him at tackle. I think that'll be a solid pick for their offensive line. At number 22, the Buffalo Bills back on the clock. Already picked a quarterback earlier. Why not add some protection for him? And the people, the guys on the NFL Network, when they did their mock draft live, this was one of the picks I got right along with them. James Daniels from Iowa. Plug him in at center, and he can snap the ball to Baker Mayfield or A.J. McCarron, and that adds solidifies the offensive line. That is your anchor, the quarterback of that offensive line that you build with. I like that pick for Buffalo. Next up, the New England Patriots at 23. Boo! I hate this team. They suck. They lost the Super Bowl. Y'all know how much I hate the Patriots with a passion. So let's just get this over with. Jair Alexander, cornerback from Louisville at 23, going to the New England Patriots. Enough said about that. Now let's go to 24 with the Carolina Panthers. They also could use help in the defensive backfield as well. Now, I could have went with Mike Hughes here. I'm just not that high on him. I know he's a good return specialist and a very good corner. But I think Isaiah Oliver, cornerback from Colorado, could go there. A very good cover corner. Of course, he was out there with Chidobe Awizue last year. And I think would be a very solid corner for the Panthers. He was very high on the draft board from Bleacher Report. So I definitely think he could be a good player there. And now to the best pick of the whole draft, your Tennessee Titans on the clock at 25. And let me tell y'all something, the perfect pick is in. Ladies and gentlemen, the guy that I think will be the next Tennessee Titan, the guy that I think could be the anchor of this defense, he could be our Ray Lewis. Rashaan Evans, linebacker from Alabama. Now, I know we could have went edge rusher, maybe with a Leighton Vander Esch, but I just could not pass this guy up. I am glad this guy was still on my board or was still there available. At number 25, Rashaan Evans locks up the middle of the field. He can be a good run stuffer. He can rush the passer. You can play him inside or outside. If you play him inside, he can cover tight ends and running backs. He could be there with Woodyard, or it could be with Jayon Brown. He's a guy that will be there on all three downs. Now, I know we just had Will Compton signed, but that's a one-year deal. Jayon Brown, has mainly been a passing down linebacker. And as great as Wesley Woodyard was last year, he's getting up there in age. So we got to be conscious of that as well. But I like Rashaan Evans anchoring that defense. Any great defense, you build up the middle. They went with Benny Logan, and you got Daquan Jones, who can play nose in the middle. You got Kevin Byard back there as safety. I think they'll look safety later in the draft as well. But now you get somebody in the middle with Rashaan Evans. I love Rashaan Evans. I think he would be perfect for this team. Now, at 26, we got the Atlanta Falcons. I've seen this guy mock to this team a lot. He could solidify the defensive line since they lost Dontari Poe. Daron Payne out of Alabama. So 2 Alabama guys go back to back. I think he solidifies that defensive line. They were a top 10 offense and defense, and they are a team that could definitely get back to the Super Bowl once again. At number 27, we have the New Orleans Saints from the Big Easy. As the Saints come marching in, Drew Brees only has a few years left in him. You got to give him more weapons on the offensive side. I know some people have him at quarterback with Lamar Jackson. if he's there, but he's already off the board. I'm going to go a new tight end. Somebody to replace Jimmy Graham. Mike Gesicki from Penn State. A very, very good tight end, a do-it-all tight end. He's definitely one of the top tight ends on the board. And so I think he becomes the new Jimmy Graham for this New Orleans Saints offense. And you know they love to open up the passing game. So now we're coming into the last 5 picks at 28 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. This was a no-brainer. They love their linebackers in the Steel City on the defense. Leighton Vander Esch from Boise State goes there at 28. Now, yeah, could have probably picked him for the Titans, but I like Rashaan Evans better. At 29, those pesky Jacksonville Jaguars. Hope they suck this year, but you know they got that good defense, and I think they're going to try to help the offensive line since they're going all in on Blake Bortles for the next few years. Get them an offensive lineman along with Andrew Norwell and Cam Robinson. Let's go with Colton Miller out of UCLA at offensive line and offensive tackle. At 30, we have the Minnesota Vikings with their new quarterback, Kirk Cousins. In the fold at quarterback up there in Minnesota, and I know Minnesota was hurting. They, you know, could have went to the Super Bowl, played it in their own stadium, but they lost to the eventual Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. I think they built up their offensive line as well. Protect Kirk Cousins if you want to get back. They have a great defense. Continue fixing that offensive line. Will Hernandez from Texas El Paso, mauling run blocker. You got guys like Dalvin Cook and Latavius Murray. You might as well get yourself an offensive lineman to block for him. And everything and protect Kirk Cousins. So I like that pick there. We're back to the New England Patriots again. I give him an offensive lineman, Isaiah Wynn from the University of Georgia. Very nice offensive lineman, solidifies the inside of their offensive line. He could also play tackle. Boom. And last but not least, the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. Shout out to my boy Jimmy and his wife Andrea. Y'all better check this out. I'm going to go tight end. They lost a tight end in the offseason with Trey Burton being gone. Hayden Hurst out of South Carolina at 32 at tight end. I think he could be a very good tight end for either Nick Foles or Carson Wentz. He's a good blocker and everything in the run game. So I like that pick for the Philadelphia Eagles. But everybody, that is my entire mock draft for the first round. If you notice, there are a lot of good players I left on the board. Guys like Billy Price, Sony Michel, Darius Geis is left on the board. I know a lot of people think crazy about that. Mike Hughes left on the board. I left a lot of good players on the board. Definitely. So there will be some good players on day 2 in my draft. Definitely. But that's just how I looked at the draft and what I think teams are going to do in that particular situation. So I'm going to post that mock draft up on the Facebook page, also on Instagram and Twitter. Let me know what you think. Do you like my mock draft? Do you hate it? Did I nail some picks? Did I suck at picking? Let me know what you think. That was the first time me doing that. And I think I liked it, and I thought it was pretty cool. But before we get out of here tonight, 2 things I wanted to touch on here for local Nashville fans. First, I want to talk some sad stuff out of the way about this Antioch shooting that happened this past weekend. I send my absolute sincerest prayers and condolences to all the families of the victims that were either injured or who lost their lives. It was such a sad thing to see, such a sad thing to have happen, and I mean, it was horrible. I mean, it's horrible that those young kids had to lose their lives and in a senseless killing. You know, they're there at Waffle House, you know, just getting some breakfast, you know, getting an all-star breakfast and everything like that. And somebody comes in there and just for no reason decides to shoot at you and end your life. I just thought that was senseless. It's horrible. I hope that this Ryan King dude gets what he deserves. And, you know, he deserves to rot in jail for the rest of his life, you know, and everything like that. I can't say or, you know, think what the justice system will do, but justice needs to be served for this. And I didn't like it. I didn't appreciate, you know, seeing that and seeing that these people lost their lives. But thank God for James Shaw and also Brendan McMurray, who helped stop this gunman from doing even more damage. You know, I know he wasn't trying to be a hero. He was trying to basically save his own life, which, hey, I understand. You got to look out for number one. But at the end of it all, James Shaw, Brendan McMurray, you guys are heroes. Why? Even though, yes, the 4 lives were lost, but it could have been a whole lot worse. You know, there were 4 lives lost, 4 people injured. It could have easily have been 10 lives lost, maybe 15 people injured. But you saved some lives. You prevented worse things from happening. So James Shaw, bravo to you, my Greek brother. He's a member of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. You didn't even have to do that. You could have just stayed down and saved your own life, but you did, you know, you did what a lot of people wouldn't have done. I don't know what I would have done in that situation. I would have been scared out of my mind for my life, my wife's life, you know, for anybody up in there. And for him to, you know, risk his own life to stop this guy was tremendous. And, you know, they caught the guy the next day. The police caught the guy. He's in jail right now. They, you know, they gave a $2 million bond, but they revoked it. You know, that was good news on that. So this guy's in jail where he deserves to be. Again, kudos to James Shaw and Brendan McMurray, and also again my sincerest condolences to the families of the victims who lost their lives. You know, I was at a Greek step show last night, to be exact, and one of my fellow new brothers was coming out, and one of the young ladies who lost her life, I believe her name was Ebony Groves. I may have gotten her name wrong. She was a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated in the Belmont chapter, and that's where I was last night at Belmont. And I talked to some of the ladies there, and I said my deepest condolences, my prayers are with that chapter and with all the ladies of the devastating divas of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. I know one of those ladies from the alumni chapter were injured. But again, my prayers go with the families and also with the victims who you know, were injured and in stable condition. I hope y'all make it through with a very speedy recovery. But I want to end this note on some great news as well. Shout out to the Nashville Predators. They're in the second round of the playoffs. They'll be hosting the Winnipeg Jets coming up on Friday night. Game 1 from Bridgestone Arena. I will be somewhere watching that game. Sunday for Game 2, I will be downtown watching the game at the Walk of Fame Park outside of Bridgestone Arena. I'm going to be there, and I'm going to cheer these Preds on to victory and pray that they go ahead and beat these Jets. Maybe I'll get out there and smash the jet that's out there. They put a smash plane out in front of Bridgestone Arena instead of the smash car. Of course, you can get a chance to smash the Winnipeg Jet plane for charity. And they always donate to charity for the Preds Foundation. I like that for what they do with that. But shout out to the Predators. Get the job done. Get back to the Stanley Cup Finals. I hope I didn't forget anything else. Let me know if I did. Again, comment, subscribe to this channel, share this show out to everybody. Let's make this audience even bigger. Thank y'all very much for tuning in to Titans and Truth. I'm going to be back. Like I said, I'll be live at the stadium tomorrow night. Come holler at me. Come join me as I go live. And I will see y'all tomorrow night, Nissan Stadium. Titans and Truth, BluEnforcer, out.